Let's go ahead and make this Lumix video. Lippity bippity. Hey Wings, it's funny how you educate the detractors with non-mainstream geopolitical ideas. Most of them won't understand them, sadly. Most people don't understand. Most people don't understand anything that isn't hand-fed to them. I know nothing about geopolitics. I know this. That there's a case that some people are just fucking wrong. And sometimes it's both parties. But like you can't be like, can you explain how this works? Like for example, I could be like, hey KJ, can you explain me how like a friction modifier tool helps fix an engine? Token asks, between Israel and Palestine, who do you think is right? Neither. Neither party is right. Such a politically correct answer? Well, first off, they're not countries either, KJ. If you want to get over here, Palestine exists in the same country as Israel, right? You know, and why they're never going to get it? Because as soon as Palestine is identified as its own country, means that they have to. Then that means Israel would have to declare war against them instead of being an unjust way of governing their own citizens. It's always like this. You know, people used to say the same shit when I talked about cars. Stick to Call of Duty. I remember playing a fucking Fallout. Stick to Call of Duty. You don't know anything about Fallout. Like motherfuckers act like you can't learn about anything. Since I don't know anything, I can tell you this. This shit that's just popping up on the news right now, it's been going on since the fucking 1960s. And it'll probably continue to go on until one of the entities is wiped off the map, which is very easy by reading a map which one is losing. One entity gets $2 to $3 billion a year from the United States and has a military that's 200,000 strong that has fucking dome weapons put in place by the United States. And you know why? Because the United States is a Judeo-Christian minority in our fucking leadership, which believes that the end of time is going to happen in Israel. So that they support Israel because they want to be on the side of Jesus. While the other side is taking dud missiles dropped on their fucking house and repurposing to shoot back at them. It isn't a war. It's an ethnical cleansing. And Israel never gets upset if Hamas or any group that you want to call on the Palestinians is attacking them, because it gives them the green light to bomb them into the fucking ground. I'm just saying, like, regardless if I say it right or not, I don't give a fuck, right? Like, I don't subscribe to like fear words like terrorism, right? Because terrorists aren't real. And you're like, oh, that's the dumbest thing ever. Look at it this way. One person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter. During the Revolutionary War, when the United States threw the tea in the fucking harbor, the United States were terrorists to the British Empire. If the British Empire won, the colonists would be just labeled as terrorists. But they didn't. Right? Terrorist is only a boogeyman word designed to get people to hate other people. Right? It's two parties having a conflict and doing things to try to win said conflict. Are you talking about like the Palestinian rebuttal killing people in Israel, because Israel turned around and killed just as many Palestinians with surgical airstrikes. Like, dude, I've been going through this my whole fucking adult life. Like, you can go on YouTube right now and you can watch like cops in Israel stealing bikes from Palestinian kids. Like, they'll have like 10 bikes. They'll just take like a pocket knife and just flatten the tires and throw them in the street and run them over the cop car. That's on YouTube. You can find it right now. And that didn't happen this last couple of years. That happened like 8 years ago. Let's take countries out of it. Let's make it about you, right? Say somebody bombed your fucking house and you had a newborn baby that died. Your mom's was fucking crippled and had her face burned up. Your nanny got fucking torched alive, right? Would you not blow up 2 buildings of the person who bombed you? Would you not? Because, like, the United States have been dropping bombs on the Middle East forever. But, like, defending something and understanding why something happens is 2 different things. I think both of them are in the fucking wrong. I think both of them are make terrible choices. Hell, I'm against the United States being in other fucking countries. To be perfectly honest. Like if I was president tomorrow, the first thing I would do as president, well, number 1 would be make it against the law for cops to mute body cameras. But number 2, I would rescind all aid to Israel. Why only Israel? Because the only reason we send aid to Israel is religious means, and your religion and government is not supposed to be together, right? Like, I could understand sending money to a country like Ukraine, who's a part of NATO, who is actively in a war for their own fucking independent freedom, right? Because it's one thing to send money to a country that's in need and then ask for money later on, like with the Maui fires. All right, I'm missing up little things regardless. The whole point of this conversation is that you can't ask for money when something happens like Katrina or the Maui fires or like an earthquake and never give other countries money, right? Yeah, my decision was my stance on Twitter. Both of them are in the fucking wrong, and they need outside mediatorship. Like, a few days, I did have to Google it, but I watched videos on it. I watched videos on the situation and everything that came with it, and like, I came to the conclusion they're both in the wrong. I mean, that's the real answer, Token. The real answer is this: you give Palestine its own little section and make it its own country, but they're not going to do that. The same reason Puerto Rico is never going to be a state. Puerto Rico is the 51st state in everything but statehood, and it's never going to be a state. Why? Because the second Puerto Rico is a state, it means that you got to start taking care of it when hurricanes hit it. It means that you got to actually care when the electricity's off. It means that you got to give them Social Security and welfare and food stamps and all these other things that come with statehood. I understand that they're 2 different situations, but I'm using Puerto Rico as an example of why Palestine is never going to get its own statehood. How is this burying myself? Again, like, the worst case example, this is a fucking Breaking Banquet video. Again, like, the worst case example, this is a fucking Breaking Banquet video. Like, have you seen how they try to portray me on those videos? You'll be alright. Dude, I'm fully at peace when people don't like me, and I don't know why people don't like me. Go ahead and ban anything that has to do with, like, Middle Eastern conflicts. It's not that it's going to backfire. It's just that people ask this shit just to try to make me out to be a bad person. You know what a bad person is? Let me tell you what a bad person is. Only Use Me Blade did a stream the other day, and this has stuck with me for some fucking reason. And somebody DoorDashed him fucking a bottle of Jaeger. That's a bad person. Looks like this stream's getting deleted.